Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with now 32 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. Newest location on Poydras Street. Check it out. There's a branch near you. It's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. Well, it's an interesting weekend. Obviously, LSU and Tulane are bowl-bound. No Zach Mettenberger for LSU. That's disappointing, Lenny.
It is. And, what's interesting is this has happened a couple of other times in recent years with LSU, and they've gone on to dominate in the bowl game, which will Anthony Jennings perform at a great level? They've obviously got time to get him ready. You got to give a lot of credit to the LSU coaching staff for getting Mettenberger to an even higher level this year. Now, with a month to prepare, perhaps, can you do the same thing with Anthony Jennings? We'll find out. We'll find out LSU's bowl pairing on Sunday. Could be the Cotton Bowl, could be the Outback Bowl, could be a Big 12 team, could be a Big 10 team. We'll find all that out come Sunday.
Somebody big. Tulane, of course, will stay home, and they'll play in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl against Louisiana Lafayette. An intriguing matchup. Two Louisiana schools going at it. First time that's happened in a bowl game. And, of course, they played last year, and the Cajuns swamped Tulane. So maybe some motivation for the Green Wave in this one, and maybe a record crowd in this one?
Yeah, maybe on both accounts, certainly. Keep in mind, too, that Tulane team a year ago is nothing like the Tulane team we are seeing this year. But you're right. It could be motivation. You saw what happened earlier this year when Tulane faced ULM. ULM came to the Dome a year ago and punked 63 on Tulane. Tulane went to Monroe and won going away this year. I'm not saying Tulane's going to win going away against UL Lafayette, but you've got to believe this will be a much more competitive game than what we saw at Cajun Field a year ago.
Yeah, and great crowds, no doubt. We'll look forward to that. Pelicans lost a tough one against Dallas last night, on Wednesday night. That was a very difficult loss. They had the lead much of the game, couldn't hold it. Veteran team knew how to finish, and the younger team did not. Hesitant in the final minute to take shots, and it definitely cost them, and now it gets tougher. Back-to-back games coming up, starting with the Thunder of Oklahoma City, who are awfully good.
Yeah, Oklahoma City is, and you're going to see a lot of these teams in the West. It's amazing to me this year, the disparity between the West and the East. I tweeted out earlier this week, the Pelicans were sitting at 9-8 when the week started, and were the playoffs to begin at that point, they would have been seeded 10th in the West, obviously out of the playoffs, but they would have been third in the East. Two teams over 500 in the East. The disparity between East and West right now is just remarkable. And unfortunately, while you do play 30 games against the East, you got to play the other 52 against the West.
Yeah, you surely do, and obviously we'll be watching very closely. Still no Anthony Davis, 4 to 6 weeks with that broken bone in his hand. Of course, the New Orleans Saints, coming off of a beatdown at Seattle, will try to get their mojo back against Carolina, and they'd better, because this one is more important than the last one. Sunday night, it's a primetime game now in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The Saints are a slight favorite in this game, despite Carolina having won 8 in a row, despite the short week for the Saints, despite the travel problem, and despite the fact that Carolina looks really good. Are you surprised that the Saints are favored?
Not really. This is, I think this is a team where if you throw out last week, this is probably the type of team that you put them on a neutral field. It would be a toss-up 50-50 kind of game. You give the Saints probably a field goal for being at home. If the game was at Carolina this week, I think Carolina would be a field goal favorite. So, it's what's interesting. You and I were talking about this earlier. I think this could be, possibly save for that chance to go to the playoffs for the first time in 1983, 30 years ago this month against the Rams, when the Rams kicked a field goal in the 2 seconds left in the game. This could be the most significant regular season game the Saints have ever played in the Superdome. And that's saying a lot. And, I mean, it's huge. I mean, you've got 2 9-3 teams. The winner will have first place, will obviously have all the advantages going in with 3 weeks left. These teams are going to meet again in 2 weeks. I think right now, if you told the Saints, get a split in these 2 games, however it comes, and then win the other 2 games against St. Louis and Tampa Bay, and you've got the division and the 2 seed, I think they take it right now.
Yep, win 3 out of 4 the rest of the way, and you'll get the number 2 seed overall in the playoffs, and Seattle obviously would be the number 1, so it's big. Prep playoffs continuing, state semifinal games on Friday night all over the state. You can follow it at SportsNola.com with our scoreboard Friday night, as well as through Ken Trahan's original prep football report, which will include play-by-play of Edna Carr against Landry Walker. 3 teams already in the finals from our neck of the woods: Archbishop Hannon, John Curtis, and Archbishop Rummel, and a chance to get 2 or 3 more in.
Absolutely. Well, you know you're going to get one with that Carr Landry Walker game, which could be the best game on the card on Friday. And, of course, we'll have a full preview that you can check out with all the semifinal breakdowns of everything going on, plus lots of stories that you can follow as well and what's going on. Plus, as you mentioned, the best scoreboard around right here at sportsnola.com.
That's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with now 32 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of sportsnola.com. Thanks, Lenny. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you Monday.
And I'm Kenny for Lenny. Thanks for joining us. God bless you.